Good morning, everybody. I pray on this morning that you guys have a really great trading day. I truly do. So let's get into some really quick analysis. And if I sound under the weather, that's because I am, but God is good and I'm going to do everything to heal this vessel that He has given me so that I can continue to come on here and, just give out some really good analysis. So let's go ahead and talk about AUDUSD because we're going to continue to follow up with this currency pair. So when it comes to trading, one thing that I love teaching you is you have to continue to follow up with your currency pair, the same currency pair over and over again, because you don't. Okay, let's talk about it. A currency pair is like a relationship. It's something where you want to follow up with it. You want it to know that you like it, and it wants to know that you like it, right? Because if you don't follow up with the currency pair, it's almost like calling someone. If you don't call them, they're going to think that you're losing interest in them, or if they don't give you back in return what you're expecting, which is profits, then you're going to lose interest. But if it's something that you can read, if it's something that you can understand, you want to keep coming back to it. Okay, so this is why we're going to keep coming back to this, because I'm in relationship with this currency pair. I like it. I like the way it moves. I know the outcome that it can provide, and so that's why I keep coming back to it. So let's go ahead and do some analysis. So last week, I was saying how I was looking for intended sales on this pair. Ended up catching a really nice trade to the downside on the 1 hour. First take profits got hit, second take profits got taken out, and then Friday we got a nice bearish move. So now I'm not in the trade long term from last week, but now this is where I want to get back in the trade. Okay, so I'm still looking for sales. Nothing is telling me to buy at this moment, and let's do the analysis of why. Let's focus on the 4 hour time frame right here. So on the 4 hour time frame, which is on my right hand side, you guys can see that this was the last higher high here, sitting around 0.716 and price just dropped Friday before close, or Friday on the day, down to 0.705, and now price is pulling back. It is retracing, and so that now price is retracing, and I got asked this question yesterday on the last video: Shaquan, would you be a buyer? No, because nothing is telling me to buy at this moment on AUDUSD. And I want you guys to remember that I focus on higher time frames, daily, weekly, 4 hour, with entries on 4 or 1 hour. Okay, that though in the 30 minutes optional, but it just depends. But right now, price is doing what's called retracing or pulling back. And now you have the question, well, where do you want price to pull back to? Especially if you're looking to trade in one direction. So I have two zones here. Well, you can't really see this one, but there's a zone here and a zone here. But it's called confluence because it's within one another. I have a range in which I want price to come and test but stay below. I want price to stay below 0.71683. Why? Because we just got a new lower low, which shows us the sellers are in the market. And we need pullbacks, or you need a pullback in order to get into a trade, right? So you could trade the buy and you could counter this, but I don't want to counter this. So I'm going to wait to see if price can continue to pull back to the first point is around 0.71110. And what all this means is that I'm just looking for price to touch in this area. Show me some bearish information, which is just basically a candlestick, which is one, and then continue to the downside. That's it. So I can sell. That's all I'm looking for. And if it does, I can have 2 points or two entry points. So I can have two potential trades running. One is going to be short term, one is going to be long term. So short term, we're going to go back down to 0.70514. And then we're going to go back, looking over here to my left hand column, which is my daily. I'm going to go back down to the low. This is my weekly lower low, back down to 0.69675. But I am still waiting for price to pull back just a little bit. I don't like to hop into trades just because I can. And even for you, you want to make sure that once you see your structure, wherever you plot your structure, mine is already plotted, that you want price to pull back to it, because all structure is saying this is where you want to enter your trade. This is where you want to see price. Basically, your structure highlights where you're going to enter, whether it's a trend line, if you're a trend line trader, whether it's your support and resistance, if you're a support and resistance trader, or whatever you use. I am a supply and demand trader, right? Supply and demand, support and resistance, trend lines, they should all have your same rules. You're going to wait for price to touch it. And then once it touches it, you're going to just wait for a price action candlestick to go in your favor or to be something you like. I don't always believe that candlestick should be in a specific color. I don't think color has anything to do with it. I think it makes it easier for you to see and read. But I do think that once you see the candlestick that you say, oh, I know I can enter here. This shows me what I need to do. Then you strike. Then you execute. Okay? Not before, not after. Because you want your rules to be met. And it should really just be 3. Know the direction. Let price touch where you want it to touch. Let price action give you permission by candlestick. And then you enter the trade. Then you'll have your exits, your stop loss, and your take profit. And when you get those things, you have a valid setup, right? So listen to how I just did this. Sellers are in control. How do you know that? Well, price made a lower low on the 4-hour, which is this bearish candlestick right here on the daily. I'm waiting for price to pull back into my zone. Once price touches it, I know I'll have a really good signal or indication that I should enter a trade. Once price touches it, I'm going to be looking for just one price action candlestick to tell me to enter. Now, I only look at 4 candlesticks, okay? Just four. And if one of those 4 appears here, then I'm going to take a trade. Where are my exits? Well, I don't have a stop loss until I'm in the trade. So I don't worry about that part until I'm in the trade. But as far as my exit goes, I'm going to take profit back to 70514 and then back to the low here. And then I'm done. So this is AUDUSD literally in a nutshell. Really, really quick, you guys. Okay, so let's talk about it. Are you looking for something similar? We don't have to trade the same. We could still be in the same ballpark. Are you the one who's countering? Are you the one who's buying? And that's okay if you counter trend. That's fine. Are you the one who trend trades like me and you're looking to continue the trend? You're looking for that continued pullback? That's fine. So let's talk about it. And I pray whatever happens this week, it works out in your favor. Just like I'm always praying it works out in my favor. I'll talk to you guys in the next video.